welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is a reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week of December the 13th to the 19th. Okay, so let's get started and see where along the Fool's journey does Gemini find themselves right now. Release, which is card 13, which is the Tower card in traditional tarot. There it is in this deck, and it says here, the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on, Gemini. This is the Tower card in this beautiful deck here. Release is the message. Archangel Azrael. So we are here to release something, to move on from a situation and experience a spiritual transformation. So that is where you find yourself along the journey this week, experiencing some release. So let's see here, what archetype do you embody as you are going through this transformation, Gemini? What is the archetype that you embody as you are going through this? Interesting, we got two came out. Let's have a look here. Detective and Fool. Very intriguing. So as you experience this transformation, let's start with Detective. The light attributes here are great power of observation and intuition and a desire to seek out the truth, which certainly goes with this Tower energy here from the Release card. Now, the shadow attributes can indicate voyeurism or falsifying information. So sort of just watching things without really using your intuition or desire to seek the truth, but you're just voyeurism here. You're just having a look, and falsifying information. So not really integrating it, but sort of being in self-deception potentially. Now, the Fool came out with that. So the attributes here are sort of a fearless revealing of emotion and helping people laugh at the absurdity and hypocrisy of life, which is sort of like not taking things too seriously, having this idea that you can take a leap of faith and not worry about it. Whereas the shadow element here is using humor to wound rather than to liberate. So this Fool isn't necessarily like the Fool of self-discovery and tarot, but the Fool in the sense of that's the archetypes that you're sitting in, is that you may be using humor, or your emotions here are maybe being impacted by how fearless are you? Are you using humor to wound, or are you fearlessly revealing your emotion and helping to ease the tension so that you don't take things as seriously and sort of laughing at the way things are going? This is very interesting. You have an option here. It's very intriguing. It's almost like, will you be lighthearted about this? As indicated by this archetype, will you be lighthearted, or will you be in denial? And then also, how much of the truth are you going to actually be seeking? With this detective archetype. Very interesting messages here for you, Gemini. Let's jump into the tarot cards to see what the rest of the story is here for Gemini as they are moving towards a big transformation here on a spiritual level and ending some phases or cycles, situations, certain chapters coming to a close, and it's time to move on. So as these things come to a close, what will you be embodying with respect to, how will you look at the situation? Will you be seeking out the truth? And how are your emotions going to respond to this? So that almost makes me think of sword and cup energy with respect to the archetypes here. Is what will be the perception here in terms of seeking out the truth, and will you be lighthearted or not? Very interesting energy around you right now. Okay, so for Gemini, what is the present situation of this story? What's going on here for Gemini as they go through this transformation? We see the Lovers card, which is you, Gemini. This represents you here, number 6 in the tarot. The Lovers, and what else came out with it? The Three of Swords. Yeah. So looks like you're walking the pathway of releasing a relationship that was not serving you. Something happened here that really hurt you. You took it really to heart, and it really created a wound here that I think it's up to you right now with respect to the archetype. You're sitting in a place right now where it's up to you how you look at this. Will you laugh or cry? Right? Are you going to look at this and sort of laugh at the cycle that just unfolded here, revealing your emotions fearlessly and not being afraid to sort of look at this and understand the truth? Or are you going to be in denial of your emotional truth because this was just too painful? That's the card here for you to choose. And then this detective energy really makes me think, like, will you see the truth in what happened here, or will you focus on sort of this emotional pain, which falsifies the information in a sense? Because this detective energy really makes me think of just looking with your great powers of observation and intuition to seek out the truth, not emotion. So this is separate from emotion. To me, I'm looking at this and thinking you have a choice to either focus on the emotions and sort of maybe get stuck by sort of not seeing the truth, or you might start to deny your emotions, which isn't going to help you see the truth in anything. So it's a very intriguing combination of messages right now for Gemini, sitting in a space where they feel a lot of conflict, and that maybe there was something that happened that really affected you personally. You really took it to heart. It was a time that made you feel things that you didn't necessarily understand here, and you're trying to seek out the truth. We see the Star card, Aquarius energy, more air sign energy here for you to rise from this and understand that you can still have faith in yourself here, that whatever it was here, it's up to you almost to decide how much this affects you going forward. And I think that that's where we're trying to stay away from falsifying information. The guidance here for you is to have faith in yourself and to really look at this situation and reveal your emotions, and then sort of have that access to your intuition to really understand what was the truth of this. What was this designed to teach you in respect to this intimate relationship with yourself? Because this card does represent Gemini, or in a relationship with someone else, a love relationship with someone else. Very interesting messages here for you, Gemini. What lies beneath all of this is the Ten of Swords. So yeah, something happened to bring something to a close. There is this energy of release and this energy of what will be your choice when you get up from this. Will you choose to be in denial of what happened and sort of just moved past things without really understanding the truth? Or will you get up and sort of look at things with this fearless sense of facing the truth and saying, yeah, I understand the truth of how these 10 swords landed in my back, and I'm going to have a little laugh about how this has transformed me so much, and I'm going to move forward. It's very interesting. Sometimes the idea of really seeing things as a metaphor. I always use this analogy with my clients to say, if this was happening in a movie and you were watching the movie, what would you be saying to the main character? You know, what advice would you be sort of screaming at the screen? And to me, what I'm seeing here with the Lovers, the Three of Swords, the Star, and the Ten of Swords is that something in a relationship caused a significant conflict where there was separation and a lot of emotional pain. And the Star card here is your guidance to say you can rise from this and have faith in yourself and move past it and get up and sort of not let this moment in time define you, but let it just be an ending that creates a beginning. And I see the Temperance card on the bottom of the deck suggesting to sort of keep things in balance, keep that emotional flow. Don't try to deny anything emotionally to yourself. Let it be revealed. Understand the truth so that you can move past this. And that's a Sagittarius energy. Now, okay, so what's beneath this situation here was the Ten of Swords, the Sagittarius energy of the Temperance beneath the Three of Swords here. So this union created a lot of pain. It's over now, so it's up to you to move forward now. And will you let this define you or not? Yeah, Five of Cups underneath the Star card. So it's almost like, how much of this emotion will you focus on, you know, before you see that you have two empty cups here, two empty open opportunities to have a new emotional journey moving forward. And there's the Tower in the background. Very interesting, because the Tower energy that you received in the beginning of your reading here, the end of a phase or situation. Yeah, there's an end in the Swords there, and it's time to move on. Spiritual transformation in the Star card, time to move on in the Five of Cups. So this card from the beginning, this release card, which is the Tower in this deck, really encapsulates everything we're seeing here. And it's up to you how you're going to proceed. Will you be the lighthearted fool and the detective who sees the truth, or will you be the fool that is using sort of humor to wound rather than to liberate, and you're not looking at the truth? Very interesting messages for you to consider, Gemini. What's the outcome here for this situation that was very painful but led to an ending that I think is transformative for Gemini here? The ending is the Hermit. Yeah, it's up to you how you proceed with this knowledge. Will you be the detective that seeks out the truth from this situation, experience, journey, chapter, cycle, whatever? Or will you sort of just have a look at it and not really delve into the truth, but just sort of hide, you know, be an observer that's not really interested in the truth, but just maybe playing the story over and over again in your mind, and that does nothing but re-traumatize you, Gemini. I feel like that is sort of what's on the table here, is that, are you going to look at it to seek the truth, or just to re-injure yourself here, which doesn't serve you at all? It just keeps you in this place where you keep having to face the truth before you move forward, you know? It's interesting. Now, beneath the Temperance card, we see another 3. So we have the 3 of Swords here, which was, I think, divinely timed to teach you something. And then we see the 3 of Cups. And so I feel like if you make it through the other end of this by seeking the truth, you're going to find connections that really serve you. The 3 of Cups is a time of celebration. I always think of the 3s as being a moment in time, like an actual moment. And so the 3 of Swords is a moment where you experienced great pain from conflict, but that conflict was necessary. From this Temperance card, that needed to happen to end something else so that you could have faith in yourself again. But you're stuck. You're stuck emotionally here. You're stuck. You don't know what to do with this emotion you're feeling. Should you reveal it to yourself so you can move forward? I feel like if you're mindful about the present and see that this conflict was in the past and it got you to this place where you can move forward, you're going to have another moment of celebration here with your soul tribe, with the people that you connect with that are your truth, you know, like the people that resonate with you the most and reveal the truth to you through your interaction with them, because it's at the same vibe. And I feel like that's where you're headed. It's almost like this had to happen to teach you how to get to these folks, to see the truth, right? To really understand the truth so you can connect with energy that is in your vibration. Now, the Star card here, where, you know, you're being guided to have faith in yourself and rise from the ashes, but there's this emotional truth blocking your path. We see the Queen of Cups, which is an incredible sign of empath, connection to your true self here on a deep intuitive level, right? When we see that Detective card calling out your great powers of observation and intuition, we see the Queen of Cups here guiding you through this to see that, you know, through compassion and forgiveness and love, we can understand any story in our book of stories here, right? And you can see it from a different lens. And I feel like that's why we're seeing the Queen of Cups, because she can see things from that bigger metaphorical picture, right? And then she can heal things with love, and she can understand things through that perspective of deep intuitive knowledge, you know what I mean? And to tap into that through her cup of love, which she typically keeps closed so that she can understand what she observes without having emotional complications happen, as opposed to the King of Cups that can keep his cup open and receive lots of different emotional sort of messages and not get overwhelmed. Whereas I feel like right now you need to just observe to understand the truth. That is the task ahead of you here, Gemini. Very interesting to see all of this for you here. Now, In terms of getting some clarity on this, I would like to seek some clarity for you about this Lover's card. Was this relationship something in the past? Yeah, and it was a lot of opposing forces. There was a lot of ups and downs. Had you walking on eggshells, had you juggling a lot of priorities, some small, some large, but you weren't sure where you stood in this relationship. And then we see that that Three of Swords here that came in to show you the truth, right? That Three of Swords brought in the truth. You weren't sure this whole time, Gemini, you were in that relationship. You weren't sure about any of it. It always felt like you were juggling, right? Not sure, walking on eggshells, juggling priorities, not really sure where you stood. And it just constantly kept looping you around and around and around until finally it was like the tension broke and it was divinely timed, this separation through conflict. And you saw the truth after that. You have the opportunity to see the truth anyway, Justice. And it was an opportunity here for you to rise from the ashes because it really brought you back down. It took you to the end of that cycle with that Ten of Swords, the Star card here, Five of Swords, really forced you to see the truth on a not only an emotional level, but also on a mental level. You had to face yourself here in this relationship to see the truth and then to walk away, Ten of Swords, you know, it ended, this cycle ended, Page of Cups, and it led to your transformation. Page of Cups led to your transformation. So this was divinely timed. As painful as that conflict was, it was divinely timed to bring you to the truth of your emotions. We see the Hermit again with the Two of Cups. My goodness. It is truly divinely timed for you to have a look at this relationship, to understand the truth here, and to reveal the emotion to yourself on a level where you can't deny it anymore, that this was divinely timed. It brought you here for a reason, to understand something. Now, what is the lesson? What is the lesson that Gemini is being brought to? Oh, Ten of Cups. The truth about what you deserve here, this emotional content ending, this happy ending, that is what this was all designed to teach you, was how to get here, how to arrive at this. You wouldn't have arrived at this in that relationship. That relationship was designed to show you what you don't want. And this is designed to teach you, this whole experience of reflection is designed to teach you what you do want. So be the detective. Have a little chuckle at this. You know, despite how painful it was, it's going to lead you to your happy ending. You know what I mean? It was all designed to bring you to your happy ending. Oh, beautiful. What's on the bottom of the deck? Again, that Five of Cups. Face this truth. Face the emotional truth and let this go. Five of Wands. You're leveling up. You're leveling up, and as you do, there are challenges here. It's a challenge for you emotionally and spiritually to transform past this. I understand, but you know, we see this Release card here. You are being guided through this. So I hope that you feel that guidance, that you're not going through this alone, and it's not for nothing. This is not in vain. This is happening to get you this Ten of Cups, this happy ending. It's time to put this to bed. You're leveling up. It's a challenge for you to understand the truth of why this happened. But at the end, it's going to lead you to this beautiful, happy outcome. This happily ever after. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. My dear Gemini, I'm going to leave it at that. If this has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading, you can find my email in a description of the readings I offer below. And as always, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and watching. And we'll see you again very soon for another reading. Sending you lots of love and light, my friends. Have a great week.